Parents strongly caution the following programs are intended for mature audiences over the age of 18. These programs may contain some material that many parents would not find suitable for children and may include intense violence, sexual situations, coarse language, and suggestive dialogue.
What up?
What up?
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing fantabulous.
That's what I'm saying. I'm doing the same thing. Of course, I've also been drinking beer for God knows how long.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I haven't been so innocent myself today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know. Hey, Caitlin Reynolds. By the way, congratulations, ma'am, on your nursing degree. Way to rock it. Oh,
Hey, congratulations.
yeah, that right there, that's big. Shoot.
That is big. That's huge.
I know. Heck yeah.
That's some big shit. That's a big shit.
I know, right? That's a good one to talk about.
So we are going to have guests. They're going to be kind of popping in and out at different random intervals. So in the meantime, you're going to be hanging out with me and Mojo, kicking it, talking about music. We have a lot of stuff coming up. We got some new shows that we can throw out there. We can actually discuss right now.
Let's do it.
I know.
Hey, Bill Ramsey. I see you.
What's up, Bill? So I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you announce the first one.
First what?
The fucking new show.
Oh, you mean the Taste of Rock and Roll?
No,
That's what I do. Which one?
No. Have you smoked that much today?
Yeah.
Damn.
Which one are we talking about? Penelope's Quickie Stop?
There you go. Good job.
We got like all these shows. You act like we only got one show.
The one that's actually like developed and actually starting.
What in the world? You need to be more specific.
Okay.
The Quickie Stop one?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait for this one because you know what? This is going to give everybody that great advice that you're not supposed to do. So if you got those wonderful relationship questions or how not to catch something, please make sure that you ask Penelope. Saying. And she also has a guest coming up. Wait until you see. I'm going to keep that a little secret, just a tad little baby secret for right now. You need to go to her page and look at it, and you'll see who's going to be there because she's a badass too.
Oh, no, I can't I cannot wait. I cannot fucking
I
wait.
know.
So we do have our first guest coming in about 8 minutes. He's running a little bit behind, as you could probably hear the ding, ding, ding.
That's all right.
Sorry, I'm fucking texting our guest back. I can't text and talk at the same time for some fucking odd reason. I just can't do it.
Yes, you have a very difficult time
we
with
also
that.
have another show that's coming out here on Hellfire. We've got Road Dog Villains, which is going to be starting ish mid-July to mid-August, somewhere around there. We will actually be sitting down and talking with roadies and techs, bass techs, drum techs, all that stuff. So,
I'm just letting some of our viewers know on that one. We've listened to you and we've heard what you said. You guys want to know what the roadies are doing and what all the equipment guys are doing. What is the equipment? How does it work? Where do you get it? And what naughty bad things did they do when they were on the road? Because we got to know, man. We got to know. We just got to know.
If we can get it out of them. If we can get it out. I can actually tell a story before Max comes in.
Let's hear it.
Of an on the road story. So a lot of you watching, some of you know that I was Scoops the Clown. That was kind of the face of Hellfire for many years in its beginnings. So I was actually on tour as Scoops, and I was in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And it was at Rock and Shock, which was like a 4-day horror convention and music festival. So like Twisted was playing there, Avatar, Light the Torch. There was all kinds of fucking bands playing there. Awesome, fantastic time. A lot of horror celebrities, stuff like that. So on my way, I think it's like day 2. I had been drinking beer since like 10 o'clock in the morning. I had to pee real bad. So I had one of our people watching the merch table as I go to the bathroom. Now, granted, I look like this scary, creepy fucking clown, right? I'm used to a lot of shit. People give me a lot of shit. You know, you're a grown man dressed as a fucking creepy clown. How the hell do you make money with this? This is stupid. Well, whatever. I made good money at it. So as I'm walking to the bathroom, this chick out of nowhere jumps in front of me and grabs me by the collar of my vest and pulls me down nose to nose with her. And she was like, I have a clown fetish. You're fucking me right now. Where are we going?
Please don't tell me the bathroom.
I didn't fuck her at all. But I was like, I was completely thrown off because I'd never had anything like that happen to me at all whatsoever. And she was like, I thought it was a joke at first. So I like laughed it off and she like jerked on it. She's like, no, I'm serious. Where are we going? And I was like, can you take your hands off me just for a minute? All right. We're not. And I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to pretend that this never happened. Okay. You stay right there. Okay. Booked it for the bathroom. And I'm like, after I'm done, I'm like peeking around the corner and see if she's
making sure she ain't there.
I'm like,
it also sounds like a really good topic to talk about on Miss Penelope Pitstop's new show coming up.
What topic is that?
Oh, you'll find out. You got to stay tuned for this one.
Stay tuned. I'm gonna fucking be there.
Exactly. So get ready to talk about your stuff.
I mean, I got some shit I could talk about. I have a very specific individual that I could talk about.
You got more.
Well, there's one main one I would like to talk about. Anyway, we're gonna say that.
Yeah, save that for the other show.
Yeah, we gotta save that for the other show. It's oh my god.
We have a lot of different shows coming up, though. We got a little handful coming up.
We do. We also have the return of Hellfire Radio at some point in the near future. I know we had first talked about it coming out towards the first of the year. It's now going to probably be much sooner than that. You're going to see the return of the Rock Assault Radio Show, which was one of the big radio shows that was originally on Hellfire Radio when we had it going. Yours truly is actually going to have his own radio show. Now, if Mojo wants to join me, she can, but if she don't, she ain't got to. But that is going to be Mondays through Friday, 5 days a week, 10:30 to 11:30 every single night on Hellfire Radio.
Is it going to be smooth jazz?
It's going to be smooth metal.
I was going the whole lumbersnack route.
I mean, kind of.
Okay.
But it's going to be metal music that you could do.
Yep. Okay.
It's going to be that baby making music for metalheads.
Hey, everybody needs their stuff, right?
I mean, they do. They fucking do.
Right?
They do. I'm telling you.
Who might say? Who might have touched?
You know, kicking out some of those jams from like Sleep Token and the Deftones and Marilyn Manson and Tool and we gonna have a good time. Maybe some Mastodon, you know, some emotional stuff here and there thrown in, you know, maybe some emo metal. It's because I fucking like it.
All right.
Hey, emo metal needs love.
Amplified Barry White.
Sure. Let's go with that. Sure. Let's absolutely go with that. I don't know if you've heard of Sleep Token, but that's kind of an amplified Barry White. Kind of, sort of, a little bit, you know. Maybe we can, when Max gets in here, we can talk to Max about the Sleep Token and see what he thinks.
Well, we can make him do like a cross between a Sleep Token-ish and a Barry White-ish kind of. See what he can come up with.
No, I was just talking about like what he thinks about Sleep Token, because like that's the whole popularity behind Sleep Token right now. Is they're like the basically, like Bill said, they're basically the Barry White of the metal world now. Yeah.
You can get, man, there's just some things.
You know, and I don't want to disagree with them either. You know, I really don't.
So what's going to be your first song on? What's going to be the first one? The first song you're going to play? I think we should see what people. What do you guys think? What is a good song to start off with? Maybe we can help Jagz figure one out.
You know, actually, I already know what I'm going to start with. I already know. I already got this down.
Lowrider.
Ooh.
Just saying.
I don't know if that's going to like get the engines revving for people, but if you want to walk like a cholo,
what's up?
We listen to Lowrider every single day before this show starts. It is just it's our thing. It's our thing.
It's one of those things. Ooh, look who we see here.
We got the first one. Big Will.
Fucking out here, baby. Woo! What the hell is going on, man? I was out doing redneck metal mafia shit, man, putting together the front half of an engine in my goddamn driveway.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
It's hot out there too.
It's hotter than shit. And we live so where we live at, man, like if you can't see the window behind me, there's a lake. Like we live on a lake.
Yeah.
It's fucking humid as shit. I'm down there and I'm laying on the ground and I'm thinking to myself, man, something ain't right. And then I realize my balls are literally stuck to my leg. Shit. I better go take a shower and jump on sound injection because I'm done with this shit.
How do you not know your balls are not stuck to you? I mean, like, how can that be an epiphany?
Well,
Don't
I have
you feel
ADD, so I can only focus on one thing at once. And I was fighting this bolt.
One ball at a time. It's all right. It's all right.
But I got it.
Okay.
With the help of the metal gods, I was Whitechapel was my soundtrack, so I was doing good.
Oh, yeah, you're speaking my language. You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Anybody knows me knows that Whitechapel is one of my top 5 favorite bands, and I fucking love them boys so much.
Super cool cats. And so let me ask you this, man. Jagz, have you ever seen that documentary on Netflix?
No.
Watch that, because I would encourage anybody, if you're not watching shows on Hellfire Radio, go to Netflix and find this damn documentary about Whitechapel. It's kind of some behind the scenes tour shit from one of the last tours they did. But for those of you guys out there that have never spent any time with Whitechapel or met them or worked with them or anything like that, it really gives you an in-depth connection to the band and what that band is about.
We got Max.
Hello.
Yay!
Max, what's up, dude? Long time no see, man.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
We are doing
Doing
fantastic,
good.
man.
I'm so sorry, guys. I literally just finished teaching.
Oh,
You're
are
good.
fine. We've just been talking about all kinds of random shit, like random shit. So, all y'all that are just joining in, Max here is the guitarist for Eve to Adam and Edge of Destiny, and God knows however many fucking other projects he's got.
Shit, man.
But that's why he's here, is to kind of tell us, what do you got going on, man? What's happening?
Right?
Yeah. Oh, before I say anything, Mojo, I like your background. That's super cool.
I know. Look.
That's awesome. now you're part of the show. You're part of the show now. You're in the band.
Oh yeah, man. You know I'm all over your stuff all the time. I love watching you.
appreciate
So
That's
heck
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you. Is there a way I
You're
can share this right now to my Facebook so my people can see it too, or is there like a?
Absolutely, go to Hellfire and it should be live, and then just hit the share and it should go straight to your page.
I'm just gonna share this right now. Let's do it. There it is. All right.
All right. Everybody jump on in.
I'm glad you know all that technical shit, Jagz, because I mean,
I gotta walk all y'all motherfuckers through this shit.
well, but I did
You
learn
want me to
something from
page them
you.
in?
So my newly acquired assistant, Misty, I sent her an invite for access to my Facebook page. She couldn't find it. And I remember how you walked me through that shit. So I told her how to do it. And she's like, oh, yeah, there it is.
It happens. So we tried to have Max and his band Edge of Destiny on when they were playing a show, and they had terrible reception, which happens. So we got Max back, and he's going to talk to us about everything he's got going on. So first off, how was the show? How did the festival go?
It was a blast. Like, and honestly, every time I go to Wisconsin, they party super hard. Like, those guys are nuts. It's always a blast. Okay. So I played the same festival last year. And so this year, I did the whole crowd surfing thing like I usually do. And but the thing that happened is Eve to Adam was also supposed to play this festival, but we had some issues, so we couldn't do it. So Edge of Destiny was able to play on, I think it was Friday night and Saturday night, just to kind of make up for Eve to Adam not being able to make it. So the first night, it was great. I crowd surfed, cool times. And then the people there, they like fed us a bunch of moonshine. And
snap. What kind was it?
What time was it?
What kind?
Oh, what kind? Honestly, I don't even remember. That's how good it was. There was this one guy literally walking around with 2 big jugs of moonshine, just giving it to people, and it was nuts. And I was hanging out. One big highlight was I was hanging out with Chris from Edema. He's the drummer for Edema.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he and I have been talking for years, but we finally got to meet in person. So we shot the shit. It was cool. And so I was watching him perform with the bassist of Scotty Austin. And that guy was going ham on the moonshine. And if you guys ever meet him, you guys can ask him. But apparently, like, he lost his phone or something happened. Just moonshine stories, you know.
Yeah, they're always good.
Anyways, so we performed. It was great. And then we partied with all the fan people. And so where we were parked, there were also a bunch of other campsites. And it's just that's all the fans just camping out kind of thing. So they invited us to the party. And there was like big bonfires and stuff. And it was just a blast, man. Like just meeting all these people and all these different bands. Like it was a good time. However, the other side of this coin is we partied so hard and we had to sound check at like 11 a.m. the next day because we had to perform again. And my God, like I was pretty hungover to say the least. Yeah,
I bet you were.
so literally,
There ain't
literally,
nothing
we
worse than a
woke up-
moonshine hangover.
Oh my goodness! Like I've had moonshine before, but whatever they have in Wisconsin, it's a whole other animal.
It's a
So
different ballgame.
yes. So anyway, so we get up. I wake up at like 10:40, and we have to go sound check at 11, and we're parked right by the stage, which is great. So we all wake up, and right before we go, the fans made coffee for us and breakfast. So we go to their tent really quickly. We just get ready and we hit the stage to sound check, and then after that, we're supposed to perform. So we had an earlier slot the next day.
Right.
And the whole time, like as I woke up, I'm like, how am I gonna perform today? Like I have no food in me, no coffee. So thank God for the fans because they really saved the day. If I went on stage like on an empty stomach, hungover, like who knows what I would have been puking or something, you know. So I'm very grateful to those fans in Wisconsin. Amazing times.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. So I heard you're taking a little trek up into Canada.
Yeah. So I got hit up by this artist named Apricity, and it's a Canadian pop rock artist or so. So they're flying me out to Toronto for rehearsals, and then I'm doing like 3 festivals with them currently. There might be more, but also Rich is getting involved too, so he'll be flying out with me.
Okay.
And yeah, it'll be a great time. As we're waiting for the whole Eve Tatum thing to kick back up, we're
Right.
keeping busy. So
Right. I got
Yeah.
you. I just say
That's
you
awesome.
staying busy as hell.
trying
Yeah.
to, you know, I'm just trying to do as much music as I can while I'm alive, you know, and that's it. That's all I got.
Now, Max, I'm gonna throw a little something at you because you know you're a brother, so I got to look out for you.
Sure.
You've traveled the country, you know, doing music. We've all traveled. I will tell you this: the farther north you go, the higher the alcohol content in them cans.
I've been to
You get
Canada
up to
too.
Toronto, if somebody hands you a can of beer, understand that it's going to be 6% or more. It's not United States gas station beer. You're
Yeah.
going to be fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Just-
Absolutely.
I'm just helping you out, brother.
No, I appreciate that. So I did a U.S. Canada tour, my first U.S. Canada tour in 2019. It was with Hell Yeah, Nonpoint, and who else? I think it was Hell Yeah, Nonpoint, and us at the time. But yeah, in Toronto, like just the alcohol content is so different. We were also in Montreal. I don't know if you guys have been there.
Yeah.
But the most beautiful place I went to in Canada was Calgary. I swear the mountains in Calgary are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I took pictures, but that doesn't even do it justice. Like it shows you how big of a world it is and how much there is to see. Like it really just it's a very humbling experience to see something so enormous, you know?
Yeah.
I am scared shitless of the mountains.
Really.
I fucking hate going into the mountains. I told Derek because my band just signed with 434.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you. And I was like, when we start touring in 2025, I swear to you, you better blindfold my motherfucking ass if we have to drive through the goddamn mountains because I will freak the fuck out.
Wow.
I don't know. I had a near death experience a couple of years ago in fucking Nevada.
Oh,
And it scared the shit out of me because we were in the snow. It started snowing, and we lost control and started skidding towards the edge of this fucking cliff with no fucking railing, no nothing. Like if we would have went over, we were dead. We were goddamn pancakes.
Oh my
And
God.
it scared the shit out of me. And after that point, I was terrified of being in the damn. Anytime we drove in the mountains, I'd lay down, fuck, put a cover.
Jagz with his damn Snoopy blanket. Rolling through the Rockies.
Hey, I don't blame you.
You're damn right. I don't love mountains. I better be on a bunk, tucked in with blanket over my head the whole time because I don't want to see it.
Come in.
You just let me know when we're there.
And to be fair, like when we were going through the mountains, like we had an amazing driver. So at the time, we had a Prevost bus, and our driver was this guy named Oli, who was the driver for Korn and a bunch of other people. And so he has all these computer screens, video game screens while he's driving, and we're like, this can't end well. But like this guy was a pro. Like you know, after the run, we're like, this is the best driver ever. But dude, those mountains are steep. Like we were going through that, and we didn't know if we were gonna make it or not. You know, so I get that. That's scary.
Yeah, it scares shit out of me. I don't know how y'all do it.
Love it.
I don't even like flying. I hate flying. I actually have to fly out Monday morning. I'm going to Texas. And I fucking hate flying. I hate it with a damn prejudice.
Is it just a height thing? You probably just don't like heights?
It's heights, and plus I have vertigo. And when I go up in the elevation, my ears will not pop. So the pressure builds and builds and builds, and I end up having a fucking migraine headache for about 24 hours. It freaking sucks ass. I do not like it at all.
Wow.
Really, that's the thing, is dealing with my vertigo with the elevation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't make fun of you for that, bro. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I could, but I'm not gonna.
Thanks, I appreciate it. So,
Max, to your point, Max, the one thing that I want the viewers and the listeners to get out of this, man, is that story about the mountains, is that you were talking about how big the world is and how much there is to see.
Yeah.
And the cool thing for you, man, is you're getting to go see. It's kind of like it's a win-win. You're getting to go travel around the world and see these beautiful things, and you're also able to go out and share your art with the world, man. And so that's just amazing on all facets of amazing, man. You know what I mean? And so I really want people to feel the power of that statement and what that really means to guys like Max that travel a lot, man, and are away from home.
I agree.
You find things out on the road that you'll never forget. You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, like I understand how much of a privilege it is to do what I do, and I'm very grateful for it. I know I'm sure a lot of people that want to do that and haven't had the chance or the opportunity or whatever. I also know I've worked very hard to get to where I'm at, but still there is some amount of luck to all of this, and I'm very grateful. I'm grateful. Touring is literally like just a paid vacation. I'm getting paid to check out cool shit and do what I love. Like to me, there's nothing better. There's nothing more fulfilling. And just meeting people in every different city and town and just grasping that culture. Like, I think that's just the coolest thing. There might be cooler stuff, but from my experience, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
No,
there's nothing cooler. All of us road dogs are like, God damn it, I can't wait to get back out there.
Me and Big Will have done many shows together in the past 5-6 years, and we've been in a lot of cities together. No, there's not.
I miss home. The good thing about it for us, though, Max, is so for me, the last tour that I went on, I didn't have to ride on a bus with 5 guys whose feet stink and have bad attitudes, man. I got to roll around in my own ride. You know what I mean? I have my own hotel room. I have my own money. I was okay with that.
Yeah. That's awesome. What was the last tour you did, if you don't mind me asking?
The last tour that I went on was, I think, in June of 2019. I did a southern run with 434 Management and some bands that they had out on the road. Pigweed was headlining that run. I think it was Scream at the Sky was out with us. Nice. And Silent Theory, maybe. I can't remember. Hell, I've slept since then. But the one thing that I remember from that tour is we were sound checking one day, and Chugs, the guitar player for Pigweed, was late to the stage, and so I stole his guitar.
Oh yeah,
I stole his guitar, and I was like running around backstage with the guitar, acting like I was Dimebag and shit. And he comes around the corner, he's like, "Give him my guitar," and I was like, "Take this son of a bitch! This strap stinks."
Say my last one was with Ellefson, Saliva, A Killer's Confession, Edge of Destiny, The Crowned, and Lane's Calling.
Oh wow! So this must have been when I was not yet in Edge of Destiny.
You were not in Edge of Destiny yet.
Before that, okay.
Yes,
Nice.
this was well before that, which is how I knew who Edge of Destiny was because of that tour. And I felt bad because I never got a chance to go talk to any of them while we were on that tour. Like I was busy doing a lot of other shit and hosting and all the other crap that we had going on. So I never got to talk or hang out with them. So I was like, shit. Now Max is in this band. Damn
I'm gonna tell all of them that. No, it's cool, man.
So yeah, that was the last time that I went on, and that's been that's been 3.5, maybe 4 years ago, 3.5.
Wow.
It's been a while, brother. We need to get our asses back.
I'm sure you guys miss it.
I told Derek, I said, get my big ass back on the stage, man.
Yeah.
I did tours as my character Scoops the Clown that were not music based. That I did the horror movie, the HorrorCon conventions, and we did tours with that because I've done a bunch of independent horror films.
That's
so
awesome.
I went out pushing all of my indie horror films that I was in. So I did all the horror cons and did a bunch of tours like that myself. But touring, I love touring. Touring is like the greatest thing ever. I don't give a shit what anybody says. There's bands out there that hate it. I've interviewed so many bands in I've been in the radio station business for I don't know, 10 years ish. And all the people I've ever interviewed, I've had a lot of bands tell me that they fucking hate touring.
Really?
Why?
I know. Like,
is that the
I love
point?
it.
Like, isn't that your point is to make music and get on the stage? And they're like, no, we just rather record and, fucking be in a record. I'm like,
wow.
I mean, but sometimes not everybody has the same personality that Max does either. Artists typically are reclusive. So the one thing that I've found in my experience is a lot the same, Jagz, is that, you interview bands and they're like, oh, I just don't like tour or whatever. And see, I'm the completely opposite. I love going on tour. Don't ask me to drive to Walmart. I'm going to throw a fit. You know what I mean? But I'll tour the country with a microphone and bands all day long. But I think it's because as an artist, some people are just, their personality is so just recluse that it kind of freaks them out, man. And you gotta respect that side of it too, because those guys are definitely good at what they do. But not everybody's into the big fucking production and the moonshine parties after the show. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a weird balance.
Sure. Yeah, that does make sense.
Now, have you toured overseas? This is what I want to know about.
So, I mean, I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about it. This might be more of a Derek question, but there's talks about Europe, but
that'd be cool.
I don't know, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, so that's all I'm going to say for now.
So you haven't done an overseas tour?
No, so I've just done U.S., Canada, and Mexico mainly.
Okay.
That's been my thing.
What was Mexico like?
Yeah, how was Mexico?
Well, I don't know if you guys know the story or not. It was like somewhat in the news or whatever, but I almost died there. But I love Mexico. I'm half Mexican.
Whoa, yeah. Hold on.
Well, hang on. I almost died, but I love Mexico.
But I love it. Well, yeah.
Gotta get into this story.
Right? Like, what the heck?
This was with Edge of Destiny, by the way, and this is what made us bond a lot because some of those guys saved my life. It's really nuts. But yeah, long story, and it's a long story. So let me try to condense it as much as possible. I'll make it like a 2 to 5 minute thing. But we flew out to go play Hell in Heaven Fest in Mexico. It was headlined by Guns N' Roses and who else? Billy Idol and just a bunch of people. Bad Omens, well, Slipknot. That was Slipknot's last show with the last drummer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah, so I was sick to see that. But anyways, long story short, we played in Toluca, Mexico, which has apparently some of the highest altitude in the world. There might be some other places a little higher, but I didn't even know any of this. It's like double from Colorado and some other stuff or whatever. So we go down there, and day one, I'm feeling kind of weird. Like I'll walk like what would be a block, and I'm out of breath. Fine. That night we party, and then we're there for 3 days. By day 3, when we're supposed to perform, we all woke up and we had some tequila the night before with some band people, and I thought I was having the worst hangover of my life, but something was off. We had to go in the morning to pick up our wristbands to go to the festival, and I could barely tie my shoes. I was out of breath, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I should not have drank that tequila or something, like something's weird. And like I'm always very professional. Like I'll always make sure I kill it at a show, whether I'm hungover or not. Like I'm still gonna fucking kill it. So we get our bands, and I start coughing a lot. We go back to the hotel, and then we're bringing our luggage down. I have my guitar and my little luggage, and as soon as I get off the elevator, I completely collapse. And I could barely walk. My bandmates had to help carry my equipment into the little van that takes us to the festival. And so something was clearly wrong. And at this point, we knew it wasn't a hangover. We don't know what it was, but something was off. So I get to the festival grounds, and I'm like breathing hard. I can barely walk. They take me to the ambulance. They tell me I have severe altitude poisoning. And they're like, we can take you to the hospital. And they gave me some oxygen. I immediately felt better. And so I was sitting there with my bass player because he had a little bit of it too, but not as bad as me. And then we meet this guy who's with Billy Idol, and it's Billy Idol's manager. And apparently Billy Idol's guitar player also had the same issue. So he was being brought to the ambulance too. But then we had to play in like 40 minutes. So I'm like, I can't go to the hospital. I came here just to do this show. And it's a big show. It's like, I can't miss this. So I'm stubborn as fuck, like when I want to, I'm never going to turn down a show, so, which might've been stupid, but to me it's worth it. Anyways, so they help carry me back to the stage, and we have like 10 minutes to get ready. And I'm just on the table like this, like pretty much dying. Like they said my oxygen content went down to, I'm trying to remember, like 40 or something. It was something really low.
Oh shit.
That's low. 40% slow, yes.
And earlier that day, like when I woke up, my bandmates told me my hands were turning purple, which is not a good sign at all. So
good.
It's a lack of oxygen to your blood. Yep.
Right. So anyways, I end up performing, and I do the best I can while I'm dying. I end up crowd surfing still. There's a video too online. It shows me crowd surfing, but you just can see how dead I am. Like they're literally going like this, and I'm just like trying to get by. It's kind of funny to watch now that everything's okay. But so on the very last song, I play the very last note and I collapse on stage. And then the EMTs come out and they carry me off the stage. And everyone in the crowd is like, holy crap, yeah, like they thought it was part of the performance. They're like, wow, they really put on a performance here. They're like, oh my God, like that's one way to do it. And so they carry me out and they put me back on oxygen. And this time it's taking longer for me to feel okay. And so at this point, there's another band and then Guns N' Roses going on. And apparently there's a riot happening because a bunch of people wanted to go see Guns N' Roses and it was sold out. So they were climbing through and trying to get by. And the SWAT team came. So because of this, they couldn't get me in a van to take me to the hospital. They had to walk me to the gates and then get an Uber to an ambulance. By the time we get to the gates, the SWAT team is there and no one can get through. So they just lay me on the ground to get other people to get an ambulance. And I'm lying on the ground for about an hour and it's cold now. So I got pneumonia. So I have severe altitude poisoning and pneumonia. The next day, so we get back to the hotel late at night. I get oxygen and I have like an EMT with me. And then they leave. The next morning I wake up and I'm purple again, but this time my whole body's turning purple. And I remember like telling my bandmates, telling Craven, the singer, and Bash, the drummer, like, can't breathe. And like, I started going in and out, and it was honestly like the scariest moment of my life. I'm like, this is it. And the drummer, literally, he's a big guy. I'm a little guy. Thank God. This guy carried me into an Uber to find the nearest ambulance for a hospital, and they took me there. And, dude, it was just the craziest thing. So the ambulance got me. I was fine. I went to 3 different hospitals. That's a story for another time. But I was there for 3.5 weeks in Mexico when I was supposed to be there for 3 days. I came out all right. But, yeah, it was just nuts. They told me, like, if I waited any longer, like, that was it. Like, this lung was completely, like, on the picture or whatever, like, just messed up. So anyways, long story short, I'm so grateful to just be here doing what I do, you know?
Holy shit.
Yeah. But the food was amazing. I did get tacos in the hospital, and I love tacos. So
I need you to.
Speaking of tacos, I'm still waiting for my tacos, Max.
I got them. I just gotta go to your city when we're on tour. You tell Derek, set up the tour already. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this thing.
I'll talk to Derek.
There you go.
I talked to Derek. I'll talk to Derek.
I'll call him tonight after we get off the air.
There you go. But yeah, guys, I'd say like the biggest thing I got out of that is also so many people from Mexico tried to help me. There was one lady that stayed with me throughout my time in the hospital just to make sure I was okay and alive. So like the people there were amazing. And every time I tie my shoes now, I remember that there was a point I couldn't tie my shoes. So I'm always grateful. So if I'm ever having a bad day, which is rare, but we all do, I still remember at least I get to have a day and I can make a change tomorrow, you know? So it was a very humbling, grateful experience for what it was.
That is insane. I need to know that city so I don't ever go.
Yeah, Toluca.
You need to stay away from there. You wouldn't be able to.
You'll be fine. I know what to do.
I know you're an ex-EMT, but I'll be goddamn if I go to even test it.
Yeah. So your
ass goes down, and
I'll play anywhere in Mexico. I'll play again, just not Toluca. I never want to go to Toluca again.
So what can you do to prevent that? Like, I mean, say you end up having to go back there, right? You're going to have to go, but what can you do to your body to prep for that? Because
there's air supply tanks you can bring with you.
Yes.
So just oxygen.
Just oxygen. Apparently, I found this out. I know this was a thing. They now sell cans that are just oxygen cans. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen
now.
Yeah, and they have a bunch of different things. But so there's ways to prepare for it.
Nope, I'm not.
Well, now you know what to do at least. Like, because odds are at that big of a show with that big of an impact down there, you're going to end up back there.
We'll find out.
I'd say the odds are pretty high, pal.
I don't give a damn. I wouldn't go. I don't give a shit what they pay me. My ass ain't going.
Come on,
we'll hire a stunt double.
No, hell no.
Just get one of them bubbles and get inside a bubble.
Nope, don't give shit. Nope,
everybody give bubbles.
Ain't worth it.
I'll be up on top of the mountain smoking cigars.
You go right ahead.
That's badass.
You send me pictures. Send me a fucking.
You know what? Another thing not to do though, when you're in high altitude, don't drink. So that might have been part of it with the whole tequila thing.
Your blood thins.
Yeah. So yeah.
Nope.
That's crazy. Like altitude poisoning is actually a thing, and then pneumonia probably from the cold oxygen, really more than anything, right?
It might have been that. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I just watch Grey's Anatomy a lot.
Oh my gods and goddesses!
Shut up! I have to.
So you've also, for those of you that are watching now, you've actually played and toured with some other bands in your past. So what are some of the big bands that you've worked for or worked with in the past?
Sure. So I've done some stuff. I guess I'll leave out some of the bands that I'm not on good terms with, but I've done some stuff with a band called Deep Fall, and that was 2019. We toured with Hell Yeah, Nonpoint, Seven Dust, Alter Bridge. So that was for me at the time, like my first big touring stuff. We had a Prevost bus. It was cool. US, Canada. That band broke up during the pandemic or something weird happened. But yeah, that was that. And we were supposed to do a tour with All That Remains and Butcher Babies in April, and that's when everything started closing down. Like, yeah.
I remember my first ever seeing the Butcher Babies.
Mm-hmm.
And my band they were on tour with OTEP and One Eyed Doll.
Mm.
And my band was opening in Jacksonville for them.
Oh, cool.
I had no clue who the fuck Butcher Babies were.
And
at the time, they played topless. I mean, fully topless. So I had none of us had any clue. So me and all my guys were sitting there around. They, bring up, it was us, another local band, then One Eyed Doll, and then they come out with the Butcher Babies, and they step out there just completely topless and in their damn leather pants. And I was like, what in the hell? I had never seen anything like it before in my life.
Wow.
Afterwards, they came down, took pictures with everybody. They were some of the nicest women in the world. I had no idea that they were both ex-Playboy playmates. Didn't have a fucking clue. And I was hooked, and not just because they were topless. Their music was actually really fucking badass.
They do have great music.
And their live performance is even fucking better.
Yeah, no, they're amazing.
I've probably seen them at least a good 20 plus times in my fucking life. And every time their performance gets better and better and better and better, and they never fucking disappoint.
Wow. That's awesome.
They land some pretty big tours, man. They go out and support a lot of big bands, man. So it's cool that they're able to find themselves in that specter, because you're right. Their music is good, but their live show is good. And it's not just because there's a couple hot women jumping around. It's because it's just badass. It's energy from start to finish.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that leads me to my next question. What do you think is more important being a musician? Is it what you do in the studio or what you do as a live performance?
That's a really good question. Big Will, do you want to start this one? Mojo, do you want to start it? Or am I
Oh, no, this is on you, Max.
I know what my answer would be, but this is you, Max.
All right. So I think it always, like, the basis of everything is it always goes back to the music. I think it's really important to write music that impacts people. I mean, that's why I got into music. I remember growing up listening to Linkin Park or Papa Roach, and like that music really impacted me. It made me want to do what they're doing. And also, if I had a bad day or like, I was mad at the world, like I would put on some Linkin Park and it just made me feel better. I think music connects people. There's a connection there, and that's a beautiful thing, and it's magic, However, at the same time, so I think the music is important. I think that's the basis of everything. However, I think what really captures people is the performance. I think if you can have a memorable performance, that sticks out even more. Like the music's there and that's great, but you can always listen to a song on repeat and it's there. Every performance, there might be something slightly different. So that's never going to happen again. Like if I crowd surf in front of like 5,000 people, that happened there. Over here, I might fall and crowd surf or something, or I might, lose oxygen and have to end up in a hospital. And like, that's a, very memorable thing. And so for me, I'm always about just putting on a show like it's my last show, because people are paying money and people are watching. And I want them to have the best fucking time they can, at least with my performance. And that's all that matters to me. And if I can do that, I'm winning. You know what I mean? Like, that's all that matters to me.
Well fucking said, man.
I can,
that's.
I can reiterate on that because
if you guys can add to it, please. I'd like to hear your point.
I could go to a story of the very first time, and they're now one of my top 5 favorite bands, which is Ghost.
They put on a performance.
So I had heard their music once before I ever seen them live. I didn't even know the name of the band. I heard it and I was just like, okay, whatever. I just kind of dismissed it, didn't really pay attention to it. Well, then fast forward about a year and a half, I go to Welcome to Rockville, and I'm working for a radio station. I'm doing interviews and photography and stuff. And here comes Ghost. And I'll never forget it because it had to be traumatizing for some people, and I hated to laugh about it. But so I don't know who the hell decided to do this, but it was just a bad idea. But it panned out well for Ghost because of the amount of attention that it drew. So on that stage that I was sitting at, Lacey Sturm is up.
Nice.
Obviously Christian. So
Totally different.
All kinds of Christian groups have showed up to see Lacey Sturm. Now, at the same point, a couple of stages over later that night, Skillet was also playing, same night. So they're all there for that. And they did have quite a few Christian-based bands. Why in the fuck you would put Ghost on right after Lacey Sturm? Beyond me. And they started out playing the intro of Year Zero, talking about, if you know the Year Zero, it starts doing that chanting with like Hell Satan in it and shit. And it's playing over and over and over for like 5 minutes. And all these Christian groups have got like, their eyes are the size of like $50 coins. Just like, oh, some shit's about to go down. So I've got camera like ready. Like, fuck the pictures. I got this shit on tape. Here we go. And it was kind of traumatizing. There was a few fights and shit. And then
Really?
Yeah. And then here comes Ghost out, and they just, their whole persona, the whole show, even though they had a smaller set and it was only 45 minutes, it was just, I was just like, I have to go to a headlining show with these guys. I have to see this.
Wow.
And that's what sucked me in. And a lot of my favorite bands are bands that I seen live. And that is exactly what sucked me in. Just like Avatar. I've seen Avatar.
I've heard good things of Avatar.
The same thing, Welcome to Rockville, but it was back when Welcome to Rockville used to have pre-parties the night before, and they'd have a bunch of, bands come out and open up that were decent-sized bands. So the night before, they had the pre-party. The pre-party was 36 Crazy Fists, Spine Shank, Non-Point, and Avatar.
Wow.
And POD.
That's a hell of a party.
You're telling me. I was like, fuck, I'm good with this. We can go ahead and go home. But Avatar, POD is the one that ended, or no, Non-Point ended the night. They were the headlining band for the pre-party. But Avatar played, and I was just fucking amazed. Like, they had a freak show out there, and people swallowing swords, and little dude with no legs doing front flips and fire breathing. And I mean, it was intense. And I'm just like, what in the fuck is going on? And I just got completely sucked into Avatar's entire, their stage presence and their performance. And at the time, I didn't know, none of them could speak a fucking lick of English. They sung in English, but couldn't speak English at the time.
Wow.
So I went up and I immediately bought merch. I bought like fucking 5 shirts, like right off the bat. I probably dropped close to $300. It was like, I need every fucking shirt that they got. And the dude's like, really? I'm like, yeah, every fucking shirt. I want every goddamn one of them. And so I met the band, and like I think one of them could somewhat speak English at the time. Mm-hmm. And then I come across them 2 years later, and that dude, which was Jonas, one of their guitarists, actually fucking remembered me. And I was backstage for Welcome to Rockville, and he seen me, and I happened to be wearing an Avatar shirt that day. Nice. And he come running up, and he goes, I remember you 2 years ago here. And he was like, we met and hung out. And he was like, you were so fucking nice to us, and like weren't a dick about us not being able to, be the greatest at speaking English. And they all come up, fucking hung out, drank beer, partied. But to me, it's all about that fucking performance. I'm all about that performance. If you can get up there and get that energy going and get me fucking pumped, like, you've got a fan for life. I'll be your goddamn fan. I'll buy everything. I'll buy all the things.
And I mean, that's kind of what I preach as far as like, working with bands or just in general, man, because if you think back, how many people in our sector will sit and tell you, man, this music saved my life. So music to me has to be, I have to be able to connect to it emotionally. And the only way that I'm going to do that, I can, like you said, Max, I can listen to your song on repeat 150 times, but when I see it live, it's going to embed something in my brain that's going to stick. And every time I hear that song, it's going to take me back to that first time that I seen you live, or that last time that I seen you live, or that time that we hung out and drank beer, or whatever the case is.
Moonshine.
That's what's the beauty of this genre, man. And so the music is definitely important. You have to put out stuff, you have to be relevant, and you have to be your own. But if you can't emotionally connect that music to each and every person in that audience, to me, that's a missed opportunity as an artist, because that's where you're putting out the canvas. The music that's on Spotify or the CD anymore, anything tangible, that's a blank canvas. Your band is the paintbrushes in the paint live.
Yeah.
And that's where you're painting the picture to everybody out there. And that's the beauty of it, is it is a twofold deal. So that's why you answered that question so well, because you hit on the importance of both.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people do that. I've interviewed 1,000 people, and 998 of them has stumbled over that question. That's why when he asked that question, I was like, oh shit, here we go.
I'm like, do you guys want to go first? Like, no, that's a great question. That's very thought-provoking.
You could leave it to me to come up with some shit.
That's great. That's
that
awesome.
ain't no shit.
So on that, Mojo, Big Will, do you have any last questions for Max? We got about 2 minutes left.
For Max. Well, there was one question that I was asked to ask.
Oh.
You ready for this, Max?
Yes.
Okay. So, have you ever been to a champagne room where the floor isn't sticky?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Actually, I don't think I've ever been to a champagne room.
No.
Well, when you come down here to visit me, I'll take it.
I'm looking forward to it.
We're
Mr.
I know you can't really touch on anything, but I always like to, and this is, I was invited to this show, Sound Injection being good to the Rock Salt crew, man, and bringing us on. But I always like to end my interviews with, and I know there's a lot of stuff that you can't talk about, but what's next, man? What's next for Max, man? What's your next move? What's the next 2 months look like for Max?
Sure. I'm keeping super busy. So I got hired by this Canadian artist, Apricity. So I'll be doing 3 shows, festival dates with her. I'm also doing something with my friend Derek Randall. He's a country rock artist from Nashville. He's going to be like the next Hardy, I think. He's just an amazing human being. I'm doing some festival dates with him. I'm literally flying. I'm doing July 27th in Wisconsin, same festival with Derek Randall. So I'm looking forward to the Moonshine. And then we do the 2nd and 3rd Michigan festival dates. Then literally I take a red eye to go perform with the Canadian artist at Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Everyone's telling me it's a big thing.
South Dakota, yeah.
Yes.
South Dakota. So
Wow.
I'm doing a 90-minute set with her both on the 4th and the 5th. And during that, I'm also playing with Edge of Destiny directly after the Canadian set. So I'm going to be tired. It's going to be great. And I'm also writing music with a band called Make Fire. It's like my little side passion project. So check out Make Fire. They're very great. And then hopefully after that, Eve Tatum stuff will pick up again, So I'm definitely looking forward to hitting the road with Eve Tatum. I've been running all those songs since January, and I love the songs. So yeah, I just want to get out there and play the songs now, it's exciting.
Yeah. So, all right. On that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Sound Injection tonight. We will be back again actually Thursday. We're going to be doing Thursday because I am going to be in San Antonio with Mojo. So I will be with her in San Antonio. So we are doing Nightmare Empire next Thursday. And until then, we love you guys. We're getting the fuck out of here. Y'all have a great fucking weekend. Don't do nothing stupid. And for the love of the gods, goddesses, wrap your tool.
Yeah.
Turn the music up and piss off the neighbors. Remember, it's okay to mosh in your living room, mofos. Let's go.
All right, later, y'all.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Anytime,
man.
bro.
Next time, my friends.